everyone, we're back with the Natural State of Wrestling podcast. My name is Irvin,
And I'm Justin.
and this episode is focused on talking about WrestleMania, the WrestleMania card, our predictions. Who we think is going to win, and or who we would want to win, because sometimes those are two different things. And it's exciting because when this episode airs, it'll be like the first day. It'll be Saturday, already the first day of WrestleMania, which is tomorrow from right now. And it's 2 nights of WrestleMania, which for me, honestly, I don't know how I feel about it, Justin. I've always been a fan of just one night, and then it's also hard to convince your loved ones that you're gonna be stuck in the house for 2 days straight.
Yeah.
I don't know what your plans are, how that looks like. Are you gonna get to watch both
I'm gonna
days?
try. I don't know if my kids are gonna let me watch both of them. I'm probably gonna have to DVR the openings on both nights. But I like that they do. I like that they're starting to do Saturday stuff. I way prefer Saturday pay-per-views, but having 2 nights is, well, man, that's a lot.
Sundays work better for me, honestly. It's like the more chill day. Saturdays I always have something going on, or my wife wants to go out, family wants to do something. So
Hmm.
Sundays are better for me. It's gonna be hard because I mean, even if like if one day I want to go to WrestleMania, it's gonna be to a 2 day commitment.
Hmm.
You got to make arrangements and stuff, for to make sure that your responsibilities at home are completed before you commit the 2 days. But I don't know why I wasn't able to make it to this last one in Dallas, which is like 5 hours away.
Yeah.
I should have gone, but I forgot why I didn't go. But now it's in Los Angeles, and didn't they have like a tornado over there about a week ago? I think in Los
Oh,
Angeles.
they did? Oh, I
Yeah,
guess I missed that.
which is weird because I mean I don't think in Los Angeles you ever hear of any
Yeah,
tornadoes hitting over there. I think about a week ago. It wasn't even a week ago. It was like 4 days ago.
really.
They had a tornado
Completely
down
missed
there.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, and but I imagine how bad the traffic must be right now because just
Oh,
already
yeah.
in general, Los Angeles traffic kind of sucks. I was there last
Hmm.
year, and it was bad. And I just imagine like all these people coming from all over the world to go watch these 2 nights at one of the biggest stadiums in the entire country. Like, oof, I just imagine
Hmm.
how the traffic is.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to touch a little bit. I was able, even though this is like a WrestleMania episode, I kind of wanted to touch a little bit about my experience going to the AEW show in Kansas City. And if y'all hear in the background the wind, is because the wind is hitting pretty hard here in Northwest Arkansas at the moment. And I just saw some lightning too. I couldn't tell if it's the outside or if it's the reflection of the video behind me, but hopefully we
Yikes.
get hit by lightning live on while we're recording this. Uh, but yes, so I went to the AEW show in Kansas City, which I believe is actually Independence, but they call it Kansas City, I believe,
Hmm.
whenever they broadcast the location on TV. It's like my third AEW show that I've gone to every AEW show at the Cable Dahmer Arena in Independence, Missouri. And every time I go, it's such a cool experience. Being able to see. I still haven't played it back yet to see how it looked on television. I haven't played it back because I really want to see how Kenny Omega versus Vikingo looked
Oh,
on
my
television.
God, man. That match was ridiculous. That flip through the table. I don't know what your angle on that was in the arena, but the way the camera caught it was so good.
I put a video on Twitter. I'm not sure if you saw it or not. Maybe you missed it. But I was on the other side, but I still saw whenever he ran and jumped up. I just didn't see him land. But I
Hmm.
was also next to the Spanish broadcasting team.
Hmm.
So I saw on their TV how it looked,
Yeah.
which I thought was really cool too. But man, let me tell you, like when I bought those tickets to go to the show probably about a month ago, and I was just, anytime that they come to Independence, Missouri, I want to go check it out, even though it's like a 3 hour drive from here from Northwest Arkansas. And
Hmm.
I happened to my seat was right next to the Spanish announce table. So right there, that's where Alex Abrahantes is and where Thunder Rosa is. And whenever I had not reached out to Thunder Rosa before. I hadn't told her I was gonna be there, but I she posted a picture on Instagram and I commented and I'm like, hey, I'm right behind you. And she replied on the comments. She was like, where? So I told her where I was at. And then like in a commercial break, she came over and said hi. And I
That's
told
so
her if we
cool.
could get a picture. And I told her like after the show because I know she was really busy and stuff. So the show ended and we met like kind of like outside of where the stands are at, and she's interested on being interviewed, you know, to talk about a lot of the community work that she does. I told her I wouldn't focus too much on wrestling because I wanted to focus on like the community aspect of the work that she's been
Yeah.
doing for years. And I don't know. I got really good vibes from her. I get really good vibes from her every time I talk to her. And she didn't have to like spend any time,
Yeah.
you know, with because I bet you there's a lot of people that want to get her attention or want to interact with her and with her and stuff. And so whenever I did you get to watch the AEW All Access show, by the way?
I have not watched it yet. I've got it DVR, but I've not
Okay.
watched it yet.
So I watched
That's
the
what I.
first 5 minutes of it, five,
Mhm.
6 minutes of it. And it's like Dr. Britt Baker and some other of the other female talent. And they're talking bad about Thunder Rosa, about like how she should relinquish the belt because she's not showing up to work and she's doing all these other things and she's supposed to be her and she's not a real champion. I don't know. It kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I was like,
Mm.
I saw that and I saw, you know, the way that she treats me and the way that she
Mhm.
treats other people and the work that she does in the community and stuff, which, you know, those weeks where Thunder Rosa was champion, like and when she wasn't hurt, she represented so well, you know, with
Mhm.
like the designs on her face, like the outfits that she had, the wrestling in the ring, like and sometimes it doesn't really matter, you know, how long someone's a champion. It's kind of like what do they do within that time that they have it, whether it being a week, whether it being months, years, what are they able to accomplish in that time? And I don't know, I was really inspired by Thunder Rosa's short, you know, run as AEW women's champion. And yeah, I just watched the AEW All Access show. I didn't get to finish it because I was only watching it while I was eating over there in Little Rock. But yeah, I was just like, man, kind of rubbed me the wrong way at the beginning. Not gonna lie.
I'm really interested to check that out because I kind of just assumed that it would be like really work heavy and not very shoot heavy. And it sounds like it's kind of the opposite because there was this stuff going around that uh, there was complaints in the women's locker room that she was a little stiff
Mhm.
ring and that she had to issue some apologies to the locker room about the way she was working. And so I really didn't think that this show would go into stuff like that. So that's really fascinating, and that makes me look forward to want to see it more.
So just based on what I saw, it kind of feels like the MJF. If MJF is involved, it will be a work.
Yeah.
It's gonna be work heavy. But I don't think that they want to talk much about like what happened at is it all out?
All out. Yeah.
Because they mentioned it a little bit at the beginning. I think it was Nick Jackson. He was kind
Hmm.
of like, yeah, I don't want to talk about that, and they just kind of like skip through it and stuff. So who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe you'll get a little bit more into it. But
Mm.
my experience at the AEW show was amazing. Thunder Rosa was amazing, and when I found out like a few days before that I was gonna get to see El Hijo de Vikingo live, for me, I was like, wow, like that's so cool. You know, the fact that you're just able to be present at a historic match, like a dream
Hmm.
match. For me, I was like, man, I'm gonna hold on to that forever, you know. And I created this little reel on Instagram with all my little highlights and stuff of the show,
Hmm.
and I had like I think it was like three wrestlers from AEW that liked the reel, which I thought was cool. It was like
Nice.
I think it was like Cash Wheeler, El Hijo de Vikingo liked it, and I forgot who else. It was like a third person that liked it too. I thought that was pretty cool,
Yeah.
but such a good experience. I definitely recommend anybody that hasn't had the opportunity to go to an AEW show to do so. There's a lot of cheap tickets too. You know, I think I bought mine for like maybe $70, but there's a lot of like 60, 40, and I think it goes
Hmm.
even close to 20, I believe.
Wow.
So I definitely recommend people to And almost from any seat, you can get a good view since it's not like a big arena. A lot of the times, you can get a good view from anywhere that you sit. My goal though this year is to possibly try to, go to a Raw or go to a SmackDown. I've never gone, so
Hmm.
I know that Raw's coming to Little Rock on April 17th, but I'm gonna be in Los Angeles. So I unfortunately won't be able to be there. But yeah, I definitely recommend for anybody that's listening that hasn't, go watch an AEW show. It's definitely worth your time. And I also try to convince, do you know who Leva Bates is, Justin?
Mm-mm.
So she's a
No.
wrestler. Her gimmick, they call her like the librarian with AEW. She's got like
Hmm.
blue hair. So she was out in the crowd whenever before the show began. So she was just talking to
Hmm.
people and stuff. And I went up to her and I told her to tell Tony to bring a show to Arkansas.
Yeah.
I don't know how far they'll get. But I did tell her. And I even like tweeted at her afterwards and she responded. So I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, definitely go check out a show, Justin, in the future.
I definitely intend to. This one just happened to fall on my wife's birthday week, and
I remember you told me.
not nearly as into it as I was. So
You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. It's a
yeah,
mistake. But like I said initially, we're gonna talk a little bit about WrestleMania. I think Justin will take the lead on talking about on mentioning each match from night one, and I'll do the same for night two. So Justin, if you want to kick it off with the matches.
yeah. Now, we'll caveat this to say that they have not released match order yet. So the order where we're going to be reading these is not the order that, or may not be the order that they actually happen on the show. Um, but here we go. The first one is the United States Championship is on the line between Austin Theory and John Cena.
Mm,
Uh, yeah,
that's a good one.
yeah, that's going to be a really good match. And I think, man, if Theory does not win this, I don't know what you do with Austin Theory anymore. Like the way that they've treated him this last year and just broken him down when he lost the money in the bank on a cash in for the same night as a US Championship Open Challenge. Like they've just completely dismantled this character. And I
Yeah.
don't know whether it's that they're going to build him up for something else with maybe, I mean, if you're going to do that, a win over John Cena is a really good way to do that. But uh, I hope Theory wins this. I'm not the biggest Austin Theory fan in the world, but if he doesn't, I don't know what you do with Austin Theory going forward.
I hope he beats Cena too. Yeah, I hope it's not a fast win, not a what's it called? A squash match or anything like that.
Yeah,
Because John Cena got squashed by Undertaker like
yeah,
a few WrestleManias ago. So nothing like that. But I do hope Austin Theory wins. I know people have been speculating online that if John Cena wins, then maybe the day after he can do like an open challenge and someone will debut. Like I think people have been
hmm,
saying like have been speculating Jay White could show up that way. John Cena issues the
hmm,
open challenge and Jay White shows up and beats John Cena for the United States title. If let's say for example if Austin Theory loses, I also think that that might open like an opportunity for maybe him to move up a little bit even if he loses and go after
hmm,
be like Cody Rhodes next opponent if he does win the championship, because it's like a
yeah,
sure win for Cody but it also elevates Austin Theory to like the main event title picture. uh,
yeah,
that's what comes to my mind. I think Austin Theory is gonna win, but if he doesn't, you know that like if Cena beats him for the title, Cena's gonna lose the title pretty soon because he's not a full
yeah,
wrestler anymore. So I guess that leaves open for that like debut idea that people have been talking about online.
yeah. And I've heard a lot of people talk about oh, what's his name from the Street Profits, Montez Ford,
Yeah,
uh, being next in line, and I would love to see
I
that. I'd
wish
him have a singles push.
that'd be good. That'd be cool.
Um, the next match we've got is the SmackDown Women's Championship between Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Um, my prediction is Rhea Ripley.
Mhm.
I think she's probably the only person from Judgment Day that's gonna win at Mania this year. And I think
I
that
don't know.
makes
I think Dom is winning, man.
you think Dom's winning.
I really do, but we'll get to that when we get there.
We'll
We'll get
get
to that.
there.
But
um, but yeah, I think this might be a off ramp for her because I mean the alignments here are just so opposite to how the crowd is going to react. Like Charlotte Flair is supposed to be the face in this, and Rhea Ripley is supposed to be the heel. That's not how the crowd is going to treat this match whatsoever. They're
yeah,
going to cheer Charlotte. They're going to cheer Rhea. That's just what's going to happen. And I think that WWE needs to realize that and probably turn Rhea pretty soon.
yeah, I think definitely Rhea. I think she's gonna win because first of all, Charlotte needs to break her dad's record eventually, and
Mm-hmm.
she can't break it unless she loses the belt once, and tries to get it back. And I think it's the perfect opportunity for Rhea. I mean, she won the Royal Rumble. Like usually, if you win the Royal Rumble, you win the championship. And I believe that would be her first time holding the a WWE title. She's had the NXT title.
She had the Raw Women's Championship pretty quickly
Oh, she
after
did?
yeah, after they moved her up to the main roster. She's
Okay.
never SmackDown Women's Championship, but she did not. She only had the Raw Women's Championship for a cup of coffee.
Oh,
Like
okay. That's probably why I missed
Charlotte
it.
pretty quick, I think.
Okay. But hopefully, those two they can I think they can like produce a really good match. So I'm really
Oh yeah,
they're both very aggressive. So I'm excited to see like what kind of match, they have. And hopefully I'll be hoping that it's the main event. I know people are in love with the whole Sami Zayn bloodline, Kevin Owens thing, but I really hope that this ends night one. Charlotte versus
yeah. I agree with that, and I know, like you said, there's a lot of controversy and people on the internet talking back and forth about what should main event night one.
Mhm.
And I mean, it, if it doesn't, then this is going to be the second year in a row that you don't have a women's match main eventing either night of WrestleMania. And
Yeah,
at that point, you're creating a pattern, and
yeah.
you always want a world championship to go on last, even if a match build isn't super. Um, you, but yeah, I get the thinking behind putting Kevin Zane,
Kevin Zayn.
Kevin Zane. That should be their team name now.
That'd be
So
the first time they would have a world tag team championship match in the main event of
yeah,
WrestleMania history.
yeah. I think you're right. I think it would. And that match is going to be great. But yeah, I think the world title needs to go on last.
I agree, but going with Rhea on that one.
Yeah. The next match is the match we were just talking about, the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships with the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. My prediction here is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I think this is the beginning of the end for the Bloodline.
I think I hope, and I'm not sure if WWE would allow this, but I hope Zami comes out as El Generico.
Oh, that'd be so
That's
cool.
he wrestled as Generico in PWG in Los Angeles, which is where
Mm-hmm.
this WrestleMania is taking place. So that's the only way I would want the if this match ends up being the main event. Unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
if it does, hopefully he pulls out the El Generico mask, and I think like seeing like an old school version of them, where they started in Los Angeles, making a name for themselves in the US. I think would be cool. I definitely do think that they are the best candidates to take those tag team titles away from the Usos.
Yeah. And they've leaned on that pretty heavy in the promos too. So I think Kevin Owens, both on Raw and SmackDown, talked about this being where they got their start, and how serendipitous it is that they are teaming back up here at WrestleMania against the most successful tag team in WWE history. So that's pretty cool.
Definitely.
The next match is Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus versus Damage Control, Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Um, I think Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus, and Lita are gonna win this. There's been some rumbling about maybe a heel turn from Trish at the end of this one. I don't know. I don't know the logic behind that. And I think that would be interesting. But Damage Control has not been exactly what I wanted it to be. They have not been as successful, and they have not been booked as well for having three top level former NXT talents. And I would have thought that Triple H would have booked these three a little bit better than he has. And I'm as glad as I am that he's in control of creative. This has kind of been a downside to me.
Yeah, I think I would want Damage Control and Bailey to win, right? But for me, it just kind of feels like this is like a feel good match
Mm-hmm.
where the good guy, the good, in this case, good women would win. So I definitely think Trish, Lita, and Becky are going to win this one. But I do get the whole thing of why you said that maybe Damage Control doesn't seem as powerful as it should be. Specifically, with the type of talent that they have in that group, it would just make sense for them to be doing more. But I still have some hope, and I hope that Bailey and Damage Control take the win, even if it's like a dirty pin.
Mm-hmm.
They cheat to win, but I have a feeling it's going to be the good girls winning this match.
Yeah, I think so too. Next up is Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul.
Hmm.
Don't know. I'm leaning towards Seth Rollins, just because he's the long-term guy and he's going to be here longer. But Logan Paul has had a breakout year in professional wrestling, and that's a sentence I never thought that I would say. But here we are. He has had banger after banger after banger, and he is performed at such a high caliber for having as little experience doing this that he does. And it being, in LA, I could see WWE giving Logan Paul the win here, though I think it should be Seth Rollins.
That's a tough one for me because they have, I believe both of them have lost. Like, they both have lost like almost every pay-per-view match that they've had recently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
Logan's had what, like three or four, and I
yeah,
think he's only won. I forgot if he beat. I think he beat the Miz when he
yeah. I think he beat the Miz, and I think that's his only win.
well, he lost against Roman Reigns. He lost against. I mean, he didn't win the Royal Rumble. I'm surprised he even made it the last. He made it the last four, which was
And
crazy.
and Seth has more L's than anybody else in WWE over the
Yeah,
last year right now, which is just a wild statistic because looking at him and where he is on the card and the fan reactions they get, you wouldn't think that, but he is one of those guys that is able to take an L and still can be perpetually over.
yeah. The thing that kind of gets me thinking though is that I know you said that Seth will be there longer, but I mean Logan is committed to WWE, like not contract wise, but he wants to wrestle for a while. And what is he, like 7 years younger than Seth Rollins?
Yeah, true.
Logan Paul's gonna be, I think he's about to turn 28, I think.
Yeah,
And Seth Rollins is probably what, like 35, 30, 36, around there. So he's got, more time if he does end up, staying with the WWE. I think his contract expires tomorrow, actually. Logan
really.
contract. Yeah. He said it in an interview that I don't know, I'm not sure if this is kayfabe or not, but he said that his contract ends tomorrow, and then he's trying to get uh a longer contract with the WWE. Uh
That's good.
yeah, and tomorrow is actually Logan Paul's birthday too, so he's gonna be wrestling on April Fool's, which is his birthday, which I think it's crazy on its own. But if I had to pick a winner for this match, I would say it's gonna be Logan Paul
Yeah,
because he hasn't won, but then that's hard too because I think Seth Rollins, like I said, he's lost all his pay-per-view matches recently.
yeah.
Um, so who knows? Who knows how that one might end up? But Logan Paul said he's debuting a new entrance song um,
I
uh,
miss that.
tomorrow, and that they have. He probably talked a little bit too much than he probably should have, but he was talking about how, like, great the match is gonna be, about how they have some good stuff planned, which I don't know why he said that publicly, but he did mention that, and he said that his entrance is gonna be iconic. So who
All
knows what he can
right.
do. Were you very much like aware of like the whole like Logan Paul Suicide Forest
Oh
situation?
yeah, yeah. I've actually seen the video.
I did too. I saw that. I saw it. I
Yeah.
actually saw it 5 minutes after it came out because
Oh
back
really?
then I was actually big on watching Logan Paul and Jake Paul. I don't know why. It was like during
Yeah.
the pandemic era, and I would watch their videos. And I saw the video when he put it out, and I was like, something doesn't seem right. And then like literally 10 minutes later, it blew up
Mm.
all over Twitter. But someone was saying that it would be hilarious for Seth Rollins to come dressed up the way that Logan Paul was dressed up in that Suicide
Oh my
Forest video,
God.
like with the green hat that he.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
said that it'd be like the ultimate troll to do
Oh
that at
my gosh.
WrestleMania.
I don't
So,
think WWE would touch that.
but it'd be cool though. It'd be cool.
Well, I mean, there's rumors Vince may show up at Mania, so who knows what
Probably
we're
will. He
willing to
probably
do.
will.
Yeah.
But I'll go with actually let me think about that again. I think I will go with Logan Paul.
Um, Next one, I think is going to be match of the night in a lot of people's books is the newly inducted Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio versus his son Dominic Mysterio. This is going to be a fun match. Whether the wrestling is just everything surrounding this match is fun.
Imagine the entrances are about to start, and Dominic comes out to Eddie Guerrero's theme song in a Cadillac or a lowrider.
So I saw somebody on Twitter yesterday uh, talk about that, and that like so once they're in the ring and he comes out to Eddie's music and in the Cadillac, then it right before the bell rings, you hear, excuse me,"
Bruh.
Guerrero comes down and gets in Dominic's corner for this, and we just have it all culminate in this big match, which
Um,
is hilarious. I don't know what Vicky's contract status is with AEW, and
she's
and all.
leaving, isn't she? I think she
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 what?
she left AEW already, I
Oh,
believe.
she did. Oh,
Like a few days ago, I think she was already like there was news that she was either about to leave or she had left. It was one of those
well,
two.
there you go. So that possibly opens that door. Um, I think that would
I
be.
have a feeling that he's coming out either if it's not the theme song, the
Mhm.
Latino theme song, he's coming out with the Lowrider for sure. I have
Yeah.
a feeling. But that match, I think it has to go to Dominic.
Yeah,
I think Dominic has to cheat. He has to lie, cheat, and steal
to win the
to
match.
win the match because it wouldn't make sense for Ray to beat him because what
Mhm.
what does Ray benefit from that? Like he's already a legend. He's already won matches
Right.
at WrestleMania. He's gonna want to build up his kid and give him his first WrestleMania win. Well, second because I think he competed with him like in the tag team last year, didn't he? I believe.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they were a tag team together last year, and I think they won.
Well, they won the tag titles, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's right.
So he already has a win, but I think it just doesn't make sense for Ray to win this one. It makes sense for Dominic to win.
Yeah, and Ray has said that his time's coming to an end,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what makes me think that he is going to take this one, because I think his very last match, whatever that is, or whenever that is, he's going to get that win to Dominic. And then he's going to go out and because he has talked about turning over the mask to Dominic. Uh,
Well, it just clicked on me. Mask versus hair.
yeah,
Mask versus hair at Backlash,
yeah, there you go.
where it's like Dominic beats him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess I can also go with Ray beating him at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Say Ray beats him at WrestleMania, they still have this feud going, and then Dominic says, "I want to challenge you." No, career/mask versus hair
there it is.
because
Yeah,
he's grown his hair. Dominic has long hair now,
he does. Yeah,
and it's the perfect way to kind of retire in a way, you know. But we'll see what happens.
yeah. Um, And then the last one for night one is Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. And I think they're just calling this like a tag team showcase. I don't think that there's like any number one contender implications or anything like that. So yeah, this seems really kind of thrown together to have a match.
It sounds like one of those
Yeah,
matches that WWE 2K generates randomly and just puts a bunch
yeah.
of random people together in a match.
And what I'm looking at doesn't say if it's on the pre-show or not, but I would not be surprised if
It
this is
should
on the pre-show
be.
because this does not seem like a with not having titles along the line, not having any number one contender implications. I think this is just I think this is a pre-show match, and I'm going to give it to the Street Profits because I think they're heading for bigger, better things. I won't say better things because I like tag team wrestling, even if WWE doesn't.
Yeah,
But I think they are both heading um, to singles pushes, or at least I hope they are. And this would be a good way to send them out.
I go with Street Profits too. All the other tag teams, I don't see a reason why they should win. You know,
Yeah.
maybe Ricochet and Braun, maybe, but it just makes sense for the Street Profits to win since they're like the most legit tag team. And
Mm-hmm.
why not give Montez a boost if he is going to be doing a singles run? You know, unless this somehow ends up being the one of like the reasons why the Profits break up, why the Street Profits break up. If something happens in this match, who knows? That can be also a thing. That's the only way I don't see the Street Profits winning is if they break up
Yeah.
at this WrestleMania. And if it isn't a pre-show, I doubt they would have them break up in the pre-show. But yeah, going with the Street Profits on that one, and starting with night two, I don't even know if this match is for the oh, it's not for the women's champion. It's just a I think it's a triple threat tag team match. It's
Yeah.
Liv
It's just
Morgan.
like the last one. It's kind of a thrown together tag team showcase. That's what they're
Okay.
called.
Well, I'm glad they're on the show because this is a lot of
Yeah.
good on here. So it's Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Natalie and Shotzi versus Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. So it's a four-way tag team uh,
Wow.
showcase. And honestly, if this were a legit fight, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler would clean the floor with everybody. Two veteran MMA fighters against
Mm-hmm.
everybody. Like, wow, no. Um, I don't even know who. I'm guessing just by looking at this that Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are gonna take this one, and I've been reading that Raquel is being seen for a possible big push after WrestleMania. So you know, a W at WrestleMania would be great. And who knows? I feel like if this is part of the show or night two, it's probably going to open it. I think it's probably going to open the show.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I I'm thinking Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler are going to win it because they are the most legit tag team in here. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are the biggest female heels, or I mean female faces on SmackDown right now, but their team is really thrown together. Um,
Okay.
and there's really not a lot of build to it, I don't think. But I think this is going to play into Chelsea Green's story more than it does anybody else's, because I think either she or Sonya are going to take the pin. And Chelsea Green has got this very Karen character she is just phenomenal at. This is great work from Chelsea Green, and I think this is going to play into it. She's going to go complain to Adam Pearce that she didn't lose the right way, and that her and Sonya need a shot at the tag team titles or
Yeah.
something, or complain about something after taking this loss.
Yeah. I agree. I agree there. Um, I could see how Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler could take it. I'm still going with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, but we'll see what happens. I would not be surprised if Ronda and Shayna do win, though. Next up is a triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. Gunther versus Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. What do you think about that one, Justin?
Oh man, this is just gonna be a fun match to watch. I don't even know how to. So I go two ways with this one, because I think Drew is taking the pin, um, and I'm thinking it's either got to be Gunther or Sheamus. Sheamus because he has never held the Intercontinental title. It is the one belt that has eluded him his entire career. Um, and I also think that feeds into Gunther's story because I think he's going to be Cody's first big opponent. And I think he is going to be in the world title scene very, very soon. And to do that, you got to get the Intercontinental title off of him. And with Sheamus pinning Drew and him losing the title that way, you've accomplished two things. You take the title off of him, and he doesn't eat a pin. So he's preserved, and he can move on to the World Championship, whichever one, because I think they're going to separate them pretty soon after Mania. We'll get into that later though. So I'm thinking Sheamus.
It's a tough one for me because it can go either way because Gunther can win it, and it could be because there's two other guys involved. You know, someone could distract someone, someone could hurt someone, and it's not like a direct loss. But I can see him losing it that way as well because Gunther doesn't need to be pinned.
Mhm.
Um, I think either Drew or Sheamus will get pinned. I think Gunther's winning this one. And I think it will probably be if he is Cody's first opponent. We're already saying like if we know for sure Cody's gonna
Yeah,
win, right? But we're hoping.
true.
Um,
Yeah,
but having the Intercontinental Champion versus the undisputed champion, I think would be a cool thing. And then if Gunther loses, he's still not titleless. He still has the Intercontinental title with him. So
true.
I'm gonna go with Gunther on that one. I don't think he's gonna get cheated out of a win here, or um, I think that Gunther is gonna pin either Sheamus or Drew on that one. Um, and the next one is probably the match that I care the least about on this night is Brock Lesnar versus Omos. But I did
Tell
like
me Vince McMahon's got a hand in creative without telling me hand
but
in
I did
creative.
like, how like active Brock was this Monday, where he was just like running against the ropes and like throwing himself. Like I've never seen Brock Lesnar like that active in like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was pretty cool. So we'll see what magic he pulls to make a decent match with Omos on this one.
Yeah, I don't think there's a universe in which Brock loses this match. I mean, come
Watch him
on.
do that. Watch him lose.
But maybe there is something to almost that I'm not seeing that the WWE sees, and to give him a win over Brock Lesnar would shoot him into the stratosphere for sure. So
Mm.
especially at Mania, but I don't know. This seems just like two big guys ramming into each other for a little bit, and that's really all we're gonna get out of this thing.
I just feel like Omos needs like a wardrobe change. I feel like he needs
Yeah,
cooler gear because that like black shirt and black pants aren't cutting it. Like I feel like he needs something more to his character. But I think he's probably gonna get like F5'd into a tractor or something, probably. Like Brock Lesnar likes to use them tractors. So wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised if he gets F5'd into a tractor or into a table and Brock Lesnar takes the win. I'm going with Brock Lesnar on this one.
Well, and I hope that they use this as an opportunity to put Bobby Lashley somewhere on the show because him and Brock have had an ongoing feud for a while, and he was supposed to have a match with Bray Wyatt,
Yeah,
Lashley, and Bray's injured right now or has some sort of health issue keeping him off the card, and
yeah,
and Bobby Lashley can't be on the card, which is really disappointing because he deserves to be at Mania.
really.
And they incorporate him somewhere into this, even if it's like a run in and maybe he costs Brock the match. I don't know.
Hmm. I agree. Who did you pick for that one?
Brock.
Brock Lesnar. You makes sense. The Raw Women's Championship, Bianca Belair versus Asuka. I hope Asuka wins. I love Bianca Belair, and I think she's great. She's probably top two, top three of the best women wrestlers in the world, of all companies. But I like to see something new. I'm the kind of person that's like, let's see what Asuka can do, with this somewhat new rendition of herself. And just having like I think it's cool to have like a Asian world champion. I think is really cool. Just because that I want something new. Like I said, Bianca's great. I love her. But Asuka, I want to see something new. And Asuka being champion I feel would make me happy. So I'm gonna go with Asuka on this one, but I would not be surprised if Bianca wins.
Yeah, I love Oscar too, but I think they've got something going with Bianca right now. She is undefeated at WrestleMania, and she is the closest thing that they have to a women's undefeated streak at Mania, I think maybe ever.
Mm.
And I think they ought to keep rolling with it. I don't know if they should get it up to Undertaker levels of undefeated, but also why not? Like, I think she is the best female wrestler in the world right now, and is a top two or three wrestler, period, in the world. I think she is up there with Moxley and Danielson and Omega. Um, so I think they would be smart to keep the belt on her. I understand the wanting something new, uh, and moving the belt onto Asuka, but I think that maybe that's something you can do at Backlash or at SummerSlam. Because I do love this new evil Asuka character. I mean, I know it's not new. She did it before she was in WWE, and but it's new to the main roster of WWE, and I am really enjoying it. I would have liked a little bit better build to this match. They really don't seem like that they're two people that are just out to get each other, and there's not a
Yeah,
lot of heat there. So that's kind of disappointing. But I my predictions Bianca Belair for this one.
makes sense. Makes sense. We have two more matches. This one I really don't know where it's gonna go. Hell in a Cell, Edge versus Finn Balor. This is one of the stories that I haven't been that much aware of about what's going on. If I just have to go based on like name, I think Edge is gonna take this one. Simply because I feel like I don't see a reason why Finn should win.
Mhm.
Apart from the fact that he's obviously going to be there longer than Edge, right? So I mean, it would be great for him to have a W, but it just kind of seems like it's kind of like one of those stories where uh Edge is just trying to not only like get revenge, but I don't know what the correct term is, but to kind of like avenge, avenge
Mm-hmm.
what's been going on the past few months. And it just kind of feels like it's probably a good time to end this whole Edge Judgment Day thing. And if he gets that W over Finn, hopefully that's where it ends. Because I think Edge should move on to something else.
Yeah.
He's been tied with the Judgment Day for like what, over a year now.
Yep.
I mean, obviously he started it, right? But I think it's time to just move away to something else. So I'm giving it to Edge on this one.
Yeah, I agree. It's time to move on from Edge and the Judgment Day. But my one holdback on this is it's supposed to be the Demon Finn Balor
Mm.
who is going to show up in this match. And after what happened with the Demon's feud with Roman Reigns, where he lost by literally just because the ropes snapped, uh, if he eats a loss at Mania to Edge, I think that's it for the Demon. I think that character is done, and I don't think you get to bring it back after that.
Because it's probably going to be the Demon versus Vampire Edge, isn't it? Because
Yeah, I think
I heard
so.
there's rumors of them bringing Gangrel back for this one. I heard some people talking about it. So it would make sense for it to be Vampire Edge versus Finn. But you think you're gonna go with Finn on this one?
Yeah, I think I almost have to just because to preserve the Demon character. But I could easily see Edge. taking this and then just retiring that character, because I think Judgment Day's on its way out. I think everyone's gonna go different ways.
I feel like they have to because this Puerto Rico show and Backlash, like Damien's gonna be the main guy.
Yeah.
You know, him and Bad Bunny. But I don't think Bad Bunny's gonna wrestle, but you know, Damien has to be. Damien's a big deal. I used
Hmm.
to watch him when he was known as Punishment Martinez. That
Hmm.
was his name back in the day when he used to wrestle in Puerto Rico. And I would follow him here and there and watch some of his matches. And he's a big deal in Puerto Rican wrestling. So who knows? He might be the one that will try to challenge Cody. Might
That
that
would be
might be the
cool.
that might be like the first. And you know, Cody is Latino too, so like he's not gonna get mega heat
Yeah.
because he's even though he's Cuban. I saw some people on Twitter, like some Puerto Rican wrestling media, they were like, "Nah, Cody's invited to the barbecue. He's one of us." Because he's Latino, and he's always doing all these like uh you know, I love Cody, but like some of his promos can be sometimes like super like uh cheesy or PC
Yeah.
and he's trying he does things with good intentions, you know, and I think some people do acknowledge that and see him as one of their own. So Puerto Rican people love Cody.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe it won't be Cody versus um what's his name? What was
Damien
it?
Priest.
What was it?
Damien Priest.
Yeah, Damien Priest. I
Yeah.
was thinking Punishment Martinez.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the name out of my head. But I do see why they would break up though, specifically because of the whole Puerto Rico thing, and them wanting to like maybe give him a chance to be that big baby face starting from that Puerto Rico show, you know.
Yeah.
And the main event, Justin, for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. What's your take on this one?
I think you got to give it to Cody. I think it's time. If you're if you're gonna pull the trigger on a challenger to Roman, this is your chance. Because if he beats Cody, who do you have? He's beaten everybody. He's beaten Sami Zayn. He will have beaten Cody Rhodes. He'll have beaten Kevin Owens. He'll have beaten Seth Rollins. There's nobody that you can put up. And I think it's time. And I think Roman's, at least what I've heard, is he's ready for a break. I think that he's going to take a which well
It's been two
deserved, well
years.
earned. You have been the center point of the greatest storyline WWE has produced in maybe since Brock Austin. Um, so well done, Roman Reigns. But I think it's time for Cody to finish his dad's story.
Yeah, I think for me, it has to be Cody. Just makes sense. I'd be really disappointed if Roman wins. I wonder if there'll be any involvement by The Rock somehow. I wonder. And that would leave like the you know how like sometimes WWE likes to start a storyline like a year before they
Mm-hmm.
actually have a wrestling match at WrestleMania. So I would not be surprised if there's some sort of Rock involvement somehow. Maybe not a run-in, but something that starts the rivalry there or the day after WrestleMania. But yeah, it makes sense for Cody to win, to finally get that belt his dad and his brother was never able to get. And I think it's time for us to move on from like the whole bloodline thing, even though it was great during this time
Mm-hmm.
and so much came out of that story. You know, there was so much content that came out of it. Yeah, it's time to give Roman a break and to allow Cody to be the guy. You know, I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Just specifically since I followed, you know, Cody since like he began with the WWE and just seeing his transformation to this big time player after leaving and coming back as this new guy with a new persona, new entrance music, and hopefully we get to see some interaction in the future with like Cody and Randy Orton. You know,
Oh
I think
man, that'd be cool.
that'd be so cool. I know Randy Orton's got like some back problems, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it'd be cool. Maybe even have them have a match. You
Yeah,
know, that could
that'd be
literally be
awesome.
if Randy decides to retire. Because I know they were saying online there were some reports about him possibly retiring because of the back issues that he was having. If he does decide to go
Mm-hmm.
the route, what better way than to go out with Cody? since he's
Yeah,
he's the guy that like on TV brought him in, kept him under his wing and stuff, and that'd be a good way to go. But not trying to think too much ahead of time, but I do think that Cody wins this one, and it's gonna be a cool thing to witness. I'm excited for it.
I think so too. And I think if you're WWE, this is your chance to sell to AEW talent that you want. That you've got Kenny Omega and the Bucks contracts are coming up. I don't think they're going to be able to pull them. But if there's anybody else that you do want to pull, like FTR or somebody, you need to be able to say, "Look what we did for Cody. This is
Yeah,
what we can do for you."
I have a feeling Kenny's gonna leave, man. I have a
I
feeling
hope not, man. I hope not.
because
That
I mean, when you
scares
think
me.
about it, he's already won almost everything. He hasn't won the TNT title, but
Yeah,
he's won every other title already.
yeah,
And I think he wants to like challenge himself, and to see
yeah.
like if they offer him something like they offered Cody, why
Yeah.
not? I mean, he's got friends over there. He's got the New Day. There's
I
so much.
just don't think the WWE is going to know what to do with King Omega, man. They
Well,
they had Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee at the same time and had no idea what to do.
yeah,
And like you look at the people like Adam Cole, they had these amazing talents, and now they're in AEW and they're not in developmental. These people are holding down shows. And I am terrified that if Kenny leaves for WWE, that he is going to be relegated to a mid card role and strapped with some insane gimmick.
I do think that they're forced to not do that though right now because they're so low on like top stars.
Yeah,
They need them desperately to remain top stars. So
yeah,
that's one of the things that I'm like, okay, maybe they won't screw it up because one,
mm-hmm.
Triple H is in charge, and two, they need top. Like it'd be stupid
Yeah,
of them to get this main event talent and put them into the mid card for no
yeah,
reason when they need top talent. They need opponents for Cody. They need opponents for
mm-hmm.
Gunther. They need all these different opponents. So I don't know, man. I think it's gonna happen. I don't know about the Young Bucks. I don't think that they would leave because for them it'd be different. Like why would you
Yeah,
win those tag belts? The
yeah,
tag belts that the Usos currently have. Like why?
yeah,
Like and I don't even like how those tag team titles look. They look
yeah,
awful. They look like a big nickel,
yeah.
like a quarter a nickel. And I don't see the Young Bucks leaving, but I do see Kenny Omega leaving. Probably Brian Cage as well.
Yeah, Brian Cage, I get.
Yeah, but I think
I
I don't
hate to
know.
see that, but the AEW has kind of missed the boat on Brian Cage. They have not booked him and locked him down like they should.
Give us Kenny Omega versus Seth Rollins. I think that'd be cool.
Oh my
There's a
God.
there's a
Yeah. Now
bunch of
that's a dream match.
Rey Mysterio versus Kenny Omega.
Or
There's a lot of cool match opportunities there, but yeah, it's exciting.
he jobs to Brock Lesnar in his first pay-per-view.
Or almost he loses to almost.
Yeah.
They make him actually come out with like the cleaner, more
Yeah.
different from how he did it because I know that he didn't come out with the actual broom. I think it was the girls that accompanied him that came out sweeping.
Mhm.
But WWE will probably make him carry the broom over to the ring. But I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like they won't mess this one up. I think Triple H in charge of things are a little bit different. So let's hope if he does end up going to WWE, the things that he's
Mhm.
allowed, to shine the way that he should.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing this episode here for everybody listening. We're just trying to do a little bit of a prediction for WWE WrestleMania, which will be airing on Peacock at the same day when this episode comes out, which should be tomorrow. Should be Saturday.
Yeah.
So I think Justin and I will probably bet a drink, whoever gets the most predictions right
Yeah.
of all of
I
us. The loser buys the winner a drink. Are you down for
like
that,
that.
Justin?
Yeah, I'm down.
Sounds good. So we'll keep tally to see who gets the most rights. But yeah, also make sure that you catch the episode coming up on Monday, which is going to be with Emmy Camacho, who is a young talent coming out of Texas that has been making a name for herself in the South. and you can expect a lot of big things for Emmy Camacho in the future when it comes to the wrestling world. She's uber talented, and is just great at what she does. So I'm excited for you all to kind of learn more about her. And then if you live in Northwest Arkansas, catch her at one of the shows for Diamond State. She's here almost every month, and will be here on April 30th, where she will be wrestling for the first ever women's champion of Diamond State. She's going to be in the four-way. So make sure you catch that April 30th at the Imperial Event Center. She'll start probably like around 3 p.m. So you can get your tickets now online. But Justin, thank you for making the time to be here today. And I hope you get to enjoy both nights of WrestleMania. And next week, we can kind of talk about, what happened. We can kind of break it down.
Sounds great. Same to you, man.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for everybody that's listening. That was the episode for this week, doing this WrestleMania prediction. And enjoy the show, and we'll catch you all next week.